has it ever come across that this is a much bigger than just a fight because you're fighting in Russia with all of the conflict that's going on? Is this like U.S., you're fighting for the country?
I mean, personally, like, I'm very aware of you know, having my country on my back, you know, especially in this climate. And that means something to me. But I also feel like beyond the political piece of it, like, I feel like I'm fighting for my generation right now. You know, and I feel like my first fight was for my generation. It's for those that feel like they don't get their just due. It's for the young fighter who is trying to push through, but he's dealing with the politics of the game. He's dealing with the double standards of the game. And he's trying to figure out how to deal with it. So even right now, like, Sergey may be trying to sell this stuff to certain people, but the real ones, they're not buying it. And that's who I'm fighting for. Like, I don't have a problem with somebody feeling like, oh, you lost by a point or two. That's all good, man. It was swing rounds, close fight, whatever. I'm not mad about that. But all the people trying to say it was injustice and, oh my God, you don't deserve it, we fighting against that mentality. Because it's that mentality that hinders my generation. Like, I'm managing a young fighter, co-managing a young fighter right now, and people are already asking him about his punching power or lack of punching power. I'm fighting for those guys. But then you look on this side right here and it's like, well, why aren't you asking him that question? This is my mission. This is my lane. I didn't understand it early on. In many cases, I didn't like it. I didn't want to be in this lane, but I'm comfortable in this lane. Not in my own strength, but by the grace of God, I'm able to sit in this lane and almost be protected and insulated from all the noise because I've been here for so long. So I'm fighting for my generation right now. I'm fighting for my generation who's fighting against the narrative and the status quo that, hey man, if you're going to be successful, and if you're going to be a successful African-American fighter, entertain us, man. Act like that.
Well, I think when you win, I think it's going to say something about America.
But see, and I appreciate that. But that's what I'm bringing in the ring.
Yeah.
These types of things, I love it. The build up, the height, the back and forth, it's all good. It's part of it. But I don't get caught up in that. You know, my lane is being understated. Maybe being marginalized. Maybe being minimized. That's fuel for us. And what they think is helping him, giving him a pass, is hurting him. I don't care what you say, bro. You didn't find what you were supposed to find in that fight. You knocked me down in the second round. Why didn't you finish me? Now, what they think is hurting me has actually been helping me. I knew going in, I gotta figure it out. I gotta figure it out. And by the grace of God, I was able to get up, man. Didn't stumble, didn't move backwards, didn't get wobbled, nothing else the rest of the fight. And he caught me with a good shot. He smiled and got up. They're not talking about that. But because they're not talking about that, he's convincing himself that it's this person's fault. The lights were too bright. The canvas was too soft. Wore his gloves. They should have gave him a different color gloves. Why they let him wear that color? All these different things. It's like a spoiled kid. You give them too much and then you take it away. What you think you're gonna do? That's what you're seeing right now. So bro, you could post until your fingers fall off on social media.
Let's take the last question, guys. You gotta start.
You can post until your fingers get red. Bro, keep posting. It's all good. You have to see me June 17th.
Just to clarify on fighting for your generation, do you also feel like you're fighting for those technical fighters whose merits get diminished because so much focus is put on knockouts, punch-outs, like you just talked about, fighting off the canvas after taking a good shot and then persevering to go on and win the fight? Do you feel like you're fighting for that fighter?
Is eclipsed in the generation piece of it, definitely, and I think if you love boxing the way it used to be, If you love boxing, you love it all. I love the Willie Peps, who will box your head off.
Amen.
Then I love a Mike Tyson, who I can't go to the fridge because this fight may be over. And I'm gonna lose my $39 or $49.99 because he knocked somebody else out. If you love boxing, you love it all. So I just did a mock pound for pound list, and everybody I put in the top 5, and it's a hard thing to do because you know, guys, you could interchange people here. It's hard to do, but you know, I'm gravitated toward the overlooked, man. I'm gravitated towards those who you know should be there, but they may not be the popular pick.
You ever heard of a guy named John Henry Lewis?
What era?
Light heavyweight champ. And the Joe Louis era.
Andre, real quick,
Okay,
just
we gotta get started. I'm so
Thank you,
sorry.
guys.
So thank you so much.